Good morning, students. I hope you all are utilizing the time to enrich your academic skills. So, in today's session, we will discuss general knowledge of class 6, unit 1. First of all, let's take a view on the topics of chapters that we will discuss here. So, in this unit, you will learn about newspapers in India, Prime Ministers of India, Seven Sisters State of India, Railways in India, Union Territories of India, Marvelous Temples of India, and Indian puppetry. So, start with newspapers in India. As you already know the full form of news, that is north, east, west, south. So the full meaning of newspaper is north, east, west, south, past and present event report. Newspaper is a basically printed form of communication that spread news on various subjects like politics, business, crime, science and sports. And you might have noticed that some newspapers are published daily while others are published weekly. India is considered one of the largest publishers of newspaper in the world. Now, what are the importance of newspaper? Newspaper is important in our daily life because it provides information collected from all over the world. The newspaper serves as an important medium to control corruption and scandal. And the main topics of general interest that includes politics, social issues, sports, economy, films and stock market. So in this chapter, some newspapers you have to identify on the basis of information given here. In the form of fill in the blanks, it is given in your book. First is Dash is a Hindi language daily newspaper. It was founded in 1942 during the Quit India movement. It is considered one of the most read newspapers in India. The answer is Dainik Jagran. So the genesis of Dainik Jagran was in the year 1942, the year when the freedom struggle of India reached its crescendo and found the expression in Quit India movement. So Dainik Jagran was launched during this time with the vision of its founder to create a newspaper that would reflect the free voice of people. Second, Dash is the Hindi language daily newspaper. It was founded in 1958 in Bhopal and is owned by DB Corporation Limited. It is Dainik Bhaskar. Dainik Bhaskar was launched in 1948 to fulfill the need of Hindi language daily newspaper. And in starting, it launched under the name Shubh Savere in Bhopal and Good Morning India in Gwalior. Later on, in 1957, the paper was renamed Bhaskar Samachar, and finally in 1958, it was renamed Dainik Bhaskar. The word Bhaskar means the rising sun in English, and along with its rising sun graphic was meant to represent a bright future. Clear? Now third is Dash is the oldest and largest selling English language daily newspaper in India. It is owned by the Times Group and has its headquarters in Mumbai. It is the Times of India. It was founded at the time when the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Zafar still sat at his throne in Delhi. And about this newspaper, which I think is the most appropriate for beginners who had just pledged to enrich his or her English vocab. Next is fourth one. The Dash is one of the most circulated English language newspaper in India. Its headquarters is in Chennai. It is the first Indian newspaper to offer an online edition. And the answer is The Hindu. Fifth, Dash is a Malayalam language daily newspaper. This Kerala based newspaper is the largest selling regional language newspaper in India. Its answer is Malayala Manorama. Sixth is Dash is the Tamil language daily newspaper. It has its headquarters in Chennai and is the largest daily newspaper printed in the Tamil language. Its answer is Dina Dhanti. Seventh, dash is the Marathi language daily newspaper. The name of this Nagpur based newspaper means People's Opinion in Marathi. The answer is Lokmat. Now see this picture. You might have noticed the four colored dots on the edge of the newspaper. It represents the CMYK sequence. That is, cyan means blue, magenta, pink, yellow and black. And these are the base colors used in printing. Now next chapter is about Prime Ministers of India. So here the images of the Prime Ministers are given in chronological order. You have to write their name below their images. So chronological order means ordering event in accordance with the time sequence in which they occurred. So first from 1947 to 1964, it's Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. From 1964 to 1964, Gulzari Nanda. He was the acting PM. Acting PM is the cabinet member who is serving in the role of PM, the individual who normally holds the position if the current PM is unable to do so. Next, 1964 to 1966, Lal Bahadur Shastri. Then again from 1966 to 1966, Gulzari Lal Nanda as acting PM. From 1966 to 1977, Indira Gandhi. 1977 to 1979, Moraji Ranchhodji Desai. 1979 to 1980, Charan Singh. 1980 to 1984, Indira Gandhi. 1984 to 1989, Rajiv Gandhi. 1989 to 1990, Vishwanath Pratap Singh. 1990 to 1991, Chandrasekhar. 1991 to 1996, P.V. Narasimha. 1996 to 1996, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. 1996 to 1997, S.D. Deve Gowda. 1997 to 1998, I.K. Gujral. 1998 to 2004, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. 2004 to 2014, Manmohan Singh and Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi. He is the current Prime Minister of India since 2014. Now next chapter is about Seven Sisters State of India. Why it is called Seven Sister States? The northeastern states are often known as Seven Sister States because they are interdependent on one another, and all of these states are connected to India via Siliguri corridor. Hence, that is the only way to reach the Seven Sister States, that is Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. So some clues are given here and you have to identify the name of state. First one is, the name of this state means abode of the clouds, and its capital is also known as the Scotland of the East. The world's wettest places, that is Mawsynram and Cherrapunji, are located in this state. The answer is Meghalaya, and the capital of the Meghalaya is Shillong. Second, this state also shares its border with Bangladesh, is the third smallest state of India, and it is known for the number of ancient palaces such as Nirmahal Palace and the Ujjanta Palace. This state is previously known as Kirat Desh. It is Tripura. Third, the name of this state means the land of the downlit mountains. During the British period, this state was known as the Northeast Frontier Agency. It is the largest northeastern state and is home to the India's largest monastery? The answer is Arunachal Pradesh. Next, fourth, this state is a gateway to the northeastern states of India. It is famous for Kaziranga National Park and tea gardens. And one-horned rhinoceros is the state animal. The answer is Assam. Fifth, the name of this state means the land of the highlanders. It is bordered by Myanmar in its east and south and Bangladesh in its west. Phangpui or Blue Mountain is the highest peak in the state. And the Chirau is one of the most famous traditional dance of this state. Answer is Mizoram. Sixth, this state is located in the extreme northeast of India. It is inhabited by many tribes who celebrate various festivals throughout the year. Hence, it is also referred as land of festivals. And this state that have mountain Sabarmati, the highest peak of the state, act as the barrier between Myanmar and the state. The answer is Nagaland. Seventh, the name of the state means the jewel land. It was the Union Territory since 1956 and later achieved statehood in 1972. The world's only floating national park, Kebul Lamji National Park, is situated here, and the sport of polo is said to have originated in this state. The answer is Manipur. One question is here that why Sikkim is not a part of Seven Sisters? It is because Sikkim is landlocked state which shares borders with Nepal, China, Bhutan and West Bengal. And unlike the other 7 states in the northeast, which share a contiguous border, and Sikkim is some distance away. Therefore, it is called the only brother among the 7 sisters. Now, chapter 4 about railways in India. As you know that the Indian Railways is considered the lifeline of the nation, and it is the most commonly used and most effective mode of transport. So in this chapter, some questions are given related to Indian Railway. First, the first passenger train traveled a distance of 34 km. The 14 carriage train was drawn by a 3 steam locomotive. What were these locomotive names? Answer is Sahib, Sindh, Sultan. The name of these locomotives are Sahib, Sindh, Sultan. Second, you might have often wondered about the stones that lay between the railway tracks. They are used to bear the load of railway sleepers, to facilitate the drainage of water, and also to keep down vegetations that might interfere the track structure. So they also hold the tracks in place as train roll by. What are these stones called? So these stones are called as ballast. Third, what is the name of the world's highest rail bridge that is under construction between Bakal and Kauri in Risi district of Jammu and Kashmir? The answer is Chenab Bridge. Fourth question, which express train runs on India's longest train route that cover a distance of 4,273 kilometers between Dibrugarh in Assam and Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu? The answer is Vivek Express. Next, this crossing in Nagpur was constructed by the British and it was considered the center of India. The trains go in all directions, that is east, west, north and south, from this crossing, thereby making it one of a kind. What is this crossing called? So it is called as the diamond crossing. Sixth question, the top view of this railway station looks like a chessboard. Which city is this station in? It is in Lucknow. Seventh, the world's longest railway platform in Uttar Pradesh, India. It stretches to a length of 1.36 km. Where in Uttar Pradesh is this platform located? It is located in Gorakhpur. Last question. Refer to the picture and name this rail mascot who was unveiled in the year 2002 to celebrate 150 years of Indian Railways. It is named as Bholu elephant. Next about Union Territories of India. As you know that Indian states have their own elected state government, but in case of union territories they are ruled by the union government or central government. So there are 9 union territories in India. In your book it is given 7. You have to correct it. There are 9 union territories in India. That is Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Chandigarh, New Delhi, Daman and Diu, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Lakshadweep, Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar. In first question, map is given here. You have to fill the union territories name. It is given here. In second, questions are given. You have to write their answer. First question, which is the first union territory of India? Answer is Andaman and Nicobar. Second, which union territory is the smallest in area? Lakshadweep. Third, who administers the union territories? Answer the president. Fourth, which union territory is known as NCT? NCT means National Capital Territory. And answer is Delhi. What was Puducherry formerly known as? So it was formerly known as Pondicherry. As of 2018, which 2 union territories have partial statehood status? It's between Delhi and Puducherry. Now next, marvelous temples of India. India has more than 2 million Hindu temples present across its length and breadth. And they are the part of our rich cultural and artistic heritage. So here some description of the temples are given here. You have to identify and write their name. First diagram for this temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva and was built by Raja Cholan first. It is located in the city Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu. Its important feature of this temple is the idol of Nandi, which is carved out of a single stone and is 13 feet height. The 216 feet high temple tower or Gopuram, which was considered the highest tower in the world when it was built and has remained erect for over 1000 of years, while other towers around the world of similar height have started to lean over the time. So the answer is Brihadiswara temple. Second, the temple is located 30 km away from Bikaner in Rajasthan. It is famous for 25,000 black rats that live there and are revered by both the priest and the worshippers. The answer is Karni Mata temple. Third, this temple is an iconic monument of Hampi, Karnataka, built of stone. It has many prominent features including a stone chariot, which is one of the 3 famous stone chariots present in India. One more important or marvelous thing about this temple that this temple has fascinated people over the years are the 56 musical pillars, which are also known as the Saregama pillars. These musical pillars are known to emanate these notes when tapped on gently. So which temple is this? It is Vittala temple. Next, this is another temple that is known for its special pillars which hangs from the roof without touching the ground. A sheet of paper or a thin piece of cloth can be passed easily under the pillar. So what is the name of this temple? It is Veerbhadra temple. Fifth, it is dedicated to Lord Venkateshwara. It is one of the richest and most visited temple not only in India but also in the world. So millions of the people visit this temple in Andhra Pradesh and offer their hair after the wish fulfillment. This ritual of hair sacrifice is also known as Moku. And there is a waterfall behind the idol of Lord Balaji where the flowers offered to the deity are put into. So which temple it is? It is Tirupati Balaji temple. Next, this temple is located in Gujarat along the shores of the Arabian Sea and is also known as the Shrine Eternal, dedicated to Lord Shiva. This temple has been destroyed a number of times but has been reconstructed each time. It is destroyed 6 times and rebuilt 6 times. So Dr. Rajendra Prasad once remarked the temple symbolized the fact that the power of creation is always greater than the power of destruction. Answer is Somnath temple. 7. This ancient rock-cut Hindu temple located in Ellora, Maharashtra is one of the largest of its kind. The temple was not constructed but carved out of a huge boulder, and the builders started working from the top of the boulder and moved towards the bottom, scooping out the rocks to create this temple. So it is Kailashnath temple. 8th, this temple is located inside a cave in a snow-capped mountain of Jammu and Kashmir. It is around 5,000 years old. And the legend has it that it is here that Lord Shiva narrated the secret immortality of goddess Parvati. There is a lingam made of ice in the cave, which is considered a natural miracle as its size changes with the lunar cycle. And pilgrims carried out long and arduous treks every year to visit temple. It is Amarnath temple. Now in 7th chapter, it's about Indian puppetry. Puppetry is a form of theatre prevalent in India since ancient time, and a puppet is a type of doll usually in the shape of human or animal, and the movement of this doll are controlled by the puppeteer. And there are basically 4 types of puppetry: string, shadow, rod and glove puppetry. So in string puppetry, the puppets are used for string puppetry, have joint limbs and are controlled by strings which facilitate easy movement and flexibility. In shadow puppetry, they are placed between a bright source of light and a translucent screen. And the puppeteer manipulates the puppet and the light source to create beautiful effects to tell a story. In gloves puppetry, as the name suggests, are worn on hands like a glove. The index finger acts as the head of the puppet, while the thumb and the middle finger act as the hand of the puppet. And in rod puppetry, the puppets used in this form are often much larger than gloves puppet and are supported and manipulated by rods. Now here some form of Indian puppetries are given here. You have to write the Indian state which the following forms of puppetry belongs. So first one is Kathputli. It belongs to Rajasthan. Second, Bomlatam. It belongs to Andhra Pradesh. Third, Ravana Chaya, it belongs to Odisha. Fourth, Tholu Banlata, it belongs to Andhra Pradesh. Fifth, Pavakuttu, it belongs to Kerala. Sixth, Panerputtul, it belongs to West Bengal. Seventh, Puttul Noch. Puttul Noch means doll dance. It belongs to West Bengal. And Yampuri, it belongs to Bihar. So now I hope you all have understood the chapters very well. Revise it and keep learning the chapters.